Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, guys. Happy Tuesday. Sorry for the low tone. Hopefully you could hear me. Hello, hello. Hey, Adrian's wife. Welcome. Mm, Missed you too. Thank you. Same to you and yours. I appreciate that. Yep. Me and the family's doing okay. You know, we're doing well. Are you at work? I appreciate that. I mean, I try to be a better version of myself every day. You know, appreciate that. I'm glad I'm catching it now. I might not even see nobody else because, I'm going live later on. Thank you. Yes. Keep us in prayer. I appreciate it. And I keep your guys in prayer all the time and your families, regardless it's YouTube. I know it's a virtual world, it's fake, but it's real people behind these avatars, these accounts. So I appreciate that, Adrian's wife. All right. You have a good day at work. Don't work too hard. And thank you for stopping by and supporting as you've been. I appreciate it, whether you're here or not. Just be real. Welcome. Good afternoon to you as well. So, guys, I'm glad I made it on time. Tonight I'll be going live. I might drop the link. There's a couple of topics I want to talk about. Um, how you doing today? Just be real. You new here. I haven't seen you here. I think I've seen you around, but welcome. So, like I explained before, some of y'all may not know, getting over a little cold. It's a couple of topics that's going on in the world we will get into tonight. So I just came live to do, my smorgasbord of things, put some videos up, um, go through some things real quick. Let me see. I'm trying to get my videos together. But how are you guys doing on this beautiful Tuesday? I see Adrian's wife is working. Work is good. There we go. But yeah, enjoy these little. Let me put my little disclaimer up first, okay?
This channel and I do not claim any right over any of the graphics, images, songs used in this video. All rights reserved to the respective copyright owners.
Okay, we could proceed now. Have any of you heard Dax? He's a rapper, young upcoming YouTuber. Used to be a janitor. Now he does good music. I was on this song like 4 months ago. He came out with this song. It's hilarious. And look at the things they doing now. But I'm not sure if some of you have been keeping up with the Olympics. There's a lot of good things going on over there. Or keeping up with the news. But yeah, let me put a little Dax on. Yeah, let me put his little song. This is one of my favorites from him. He have other music too. Yeah, check this out right quick.
nothing to eat, we can't go to sleep. We're stuck in our homes, they're flooding the streets. Everyone's watching and glued to their screens. Misinformation like every week. Apocalypse. This ain't no game, better choose your side and protect your soul. Devil is lurking, he's looking for victims and power to use to regain his control. No one to trust, everybody's corrupt. End of the world really feels like it's close. Feels like it's Truman and I'm just a person they watching at home on an evening show. Fake information and all of it's free. Dumb politicians, corrupt police, tanks and riots, bodies piling, smell of corruption is flooding the streets. Children are crying, there's nothing to eat. Left and right, there's no in between. Who do we trust when it's us against us and we'll do anything just to get a retweet? 2021, no joke, boy, you better stay inside, pray to God during these times. Let me give you some advice at night, stay inside your life for the price they will buy. Everybody's trying to fight gas prices spike, no bus can't walk, we can't drive. Everybody's on this trip trying to get ahead, so I'm trucking up this peace sign. Let me get into the rail. They don't care how you feel, you're just an animal and you're their next meal. There's no peace. I pray to God on my knees, the gates of hell are open, we can all feel that heat. I remember when everything changed, when technology went from innate to the primary poison of all of our brains. We've been programmed to think that we need it, we slave and we worship it every day, and in every way we becoming the robot they gave us and losing humanity's way. I see violence, oh, so much violence I see. And I hear sirens, oh, oh, oh. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run, they gave me the shot, they took away guns, nothing to eat, we can't go to sleep, we're stuck in our homes, they're flooding the streets, everyone's watching and glued to their screens, misinformation like every week. Apocalypse. If you're a soldier, stand up, you know. Stay 10 toes. Look them in the face, don't you fall. They're watching your moves, I hope that you know. People are dying because of religion, selling sex, selling children, genocides, waters rise, homicides, missing women. Rich got richer, what do they do, man? They cut out the small business. Fake statistics, flood the streets with drugs and filled up all the prisons. They're shifting the energy, you can't see the enemy. God is returning, they don't gotta say it, the climate's been telling me. From the way they abusing the teaching and pushing religion like it's an accessory. Pick a side, it's the darker the light and the scariest times that we've seen. I see violence, oh, so much violence I see. And I hear sirens, oh, oh, oh. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run, they gave me the shot, they took away guns, nothing to eat, we can't go to sleep, we're stuck in our homes, they're flooding the streets, everyone's watching and glued to their screens, misinformation like every week. Apocalypse. Put your lighters up, put your lighters up, put your lighters up. Apocalypse.
Yes, that was Dax. You like that? Just be real. And whoever haven't heard this was months ago. You know how I used to be telling people like it don't matter. They're gonna give all of us it. We're gonna be mandated. So now later we're gonna have to get it. You just gotta keep yourself not with fear in your mind, because fear manifests bad health. That's why I said you gotta always believe you're gonna be okay. Don't be afraid. When it's your time, it's your time. You can't do nothing about it, you know. But yeah, I love that song from him. He got a lot of other good songs too. Some people like him, some people don't. When I met him, he was like, "Yeah, forget YouTube," and he started on YouTube. So some people was like, "You can't forget where you came from." That is true. But yeah. And Dax is nice too, because he always be like, "Share my stuff." I'm like, Dax, everybody don't have a community wall. Just make sure YouTube don't strike me for your shit, you know? So he'd be cool with that. And he still kind of answer his comments too, so that's pretty cool. That's probably why he still, you know, gets so much support from people on YouTube, because sometimes people get big-headed and they go in different places, then they forget where they came from. And they're like, I don't need to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. It's crazy. Ooh, ooh, hey, Miss B. Hey, Mr. Triple L. Hey. I gotta say hi to everybody before YouTube. Well, StreamYard try to play me. But yeah. Let me put some stuff up here. Later on tonight, I'm gonna go live and exercise my voice. Just talk about smorgasbord of things. And all is welcome to join. Let me see what's next. Oh, did you hear about the lady who had like 9 kids? She gave birth to 9 children. It's crazy. Let me show you a clip right now.
One newborn is a handful. Having 9 at once, well, that must be harrowing. Our team just got back from Morocco to meet the mother who was expecting 7 kids, but discovered 2 more surprises while delivering. Our Lindsay Davis brings us this remarkable story.
Halima Cisse and her husband Abdel Kadir Arbi are on their way to the neonatal intensive care unit in Casablanca. A far journey from their homeland in Timbuktu, but one these parents were relieved to make. It's been nearly 2 months since this 26-year-old mother from Mali had not 1, not 2, but 9 babies. We're hearing from them for the very first time.
So we always wanted a baby. But if someone told me one day, Mr. Arbi, I would have 9 babies, I would say it's false.
For months, scans were only showing 7 fetuses. It wasn't until she gave birth that doctors realized there were 2 more.
There were a lot of things going through my mind. Being afraid for myself, for my kids, how it was going to unfold, all of that was going through my mind.
They're called non-uplets, and they're extremely rare. In fact, there have only been 2 other recorded cases, but none have survived past a few days. The last time we saw anything close to this many multiple births was 12 years ago from Nadia Suleiman.
I wish I could split myself into 14 parts and I can't do that.
Nicknamed Octomom, she is the current Guinness World Record holder for most children delivered at a single birth to survive. But she had 8 babies, and like most multiple births, they were conceived through in vitro fertilization. Halima's pregnancy is all the more rare because it occurred naturally, requiring a team of 10 doctors and 25 paramedics for her C-section.
That means it's a first. This is the first time we're attending a birth like this. The most important delivery we've seen was 4 babies that I've seen in my career. But the births of these babies, 9 babies, it's very rare. She's the first one to give birth to 9 babies who are alive and healthy.
Such pregnancies are extremely dangerous for the mother, but this clinic was determined to keep both mom and babies alive.
So we fight for every baby. We don't give in. We don't present 9 babies to the mom. We present 1 baby at a time. This baby must grow. It must survive. That's that reasoning. So we're not reasoning between these 9, choosing who will survive development. Everyone has to survive.
Born after 30 weeks, their weight ranged between 1 and just a little over 2 pounds. They've spent the first few months of their little lives sequestered in this ICU. The Malian government flew them out during pregnancy. Each day, Halima and Abdel Kadir must suit up in PPE just to hold their 5 girls and 4 little boys. 9 names is certainly a lot to keep track of, but their parents tell us they wanted their names to be as significant as their birth.
The first boy bears the name in tribute to his king Mohammed VI, and he is the king of Morocco. And the second boy is Bang Dung's name. He is the former president of Mali.
The clinic staff tells us they use about 75 diapers and about 100 bottles of milk a day.
It's a lot of work and a lot of work, but out of love, all love, I promise you, for the whole team. It's not just me, for love. Doctors and everything, making visits every morning, baby by baby, we're all doing it. Individualized care that is very, very good.
Soon, these non-uplets will be able to take the voyage back to Mali, where their big sister awaits. Abdel Kadir is a soldier in the Malian army, and Halima is a student. Now they have 10 children. The added pressure weighs heavily on their minds.
It must also be said, the weight, the responsibility is enormous. It's huge. To raise one baby is not easy, and then 9 more. 9, and we also measure care that is necessary. And the follow-up that is there, which appeals, and education, and everything that goes with it.
Despite the obvious challenges, they are filled with an immense amount of gratitude and hope for the future. They consider these babies to be a blessing from God.
And what I want to tell you, I'll add that it's divine gratification. It must be said. The output surprised us. It's surprising. Even after the surprise, we have joy that has always been there. Responsibilities are confident and optimistic. Everything's going to be fine.
And what a beautiful family. Thanks to our Lindsay Davis for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show how
9 babies. I heard when she gave birth, it was like a couple of months ago, like 3 months ago. And I just heard the update like probably 3 days, 4 days ago. So I'm like, yes, I've been trying to keep track of that because I couldn't believe it. Yeah, Nadia. Nadia was a trip. Oh, he went to jail. I didn't know if he went to jail. I know they took his license away. He took that thing. It's amazing. But let me see. There's a couple of things. Let me show you this gymnastic. That's why I said sometimes, you know, I don't understand how these girls don't go to the Olympics. You know, they're good enough to do like college, go to tournaments and everything like that, but they can't get into the Olympics. I mean, they just as great too. So this Caitlin, they bullied her. You know how the critics do. You know, she had a butt. She actually dropped out, stopped doing gymnastics because she was bullied. They called her the fat gymnastic girl. And these people, you know, when they see greatness, they try to destroy it however they can. Nadia, you're gonna see. I'm gonna show you Caitlin first. She loves Michael Jackson, and I do too. So she did a routine. This was I think it was last year. So let's watch Caitlin, her little floor exercise.
On the floor, Caitlin Ohashi. The last time Ohashi stepped on this floor, a similar situation against a vaunted opponent, number 1 Oklahoma, in front of a huge crowd, and she was perfect.
Crowd goes wild for that opening double layout. And then it's all about a show. Little moonwalk in there. Performing to a bunch of Michael Jackson songs.
Little Thriller, I recognize that from the day. Caitlin Ohashi for UCLA.
Okay, that was hot right there. But UCLA, and they told her she had to lose weight because she has a butt or whatever. I don't know what they look at. It's just like the team that they didn't want to wear spandex to do volleyball. They didn't want to wear them little tight booty shorts. Sports and competition should be about the skills, but you know how it is. It has to be about what you wear, how you present yourself. But yeah, it's people like that I wish would just see how good they are, how great they are, and learn to shrug that shit off. But like I said, everybody's human. People are human at the end of the day. Sometimes some things stick, some things don't. But look how great she was. Like, come on. I haven't seen a floor exercise like that since she did it, okay? But this is my homegirl Nadia. There's another girl over here that be doing her thing. Okay. And she did a little crip walk. But she still did the floor exercise. She just put a little flavor to it. That's why sometimes, certain sports is boring. People don't watch it. And you want to watch the flavor. So that's why I said recognition. Real stuff. Let me see. Simone dropped out. Other people is getting gold medals. The Olympics is doing what the Olympics is doing. This year, I'm not too much into it. I'm just like, I don't know. There's something about it. But it's like these ladies, they're in college. They doing it. When you go on a team, everybody have like floor exercises. Certain people do the beams, and some of them could do all three. They do the beams, they do everything else. But yeah, I like these two ladies. You only got one life to live. But yeah, let me see. Okay, let's get to the little floods that's happening, because there was some floods that happened, and there's more floods to come. People's having monsoon season. Let me see, which one is this one?
It was just 1 week ago these streets were flooded and caused all sorts of issues and problems for thousands of Metro Detroiters. It's the same people who prepare time and time again for the worst.
We are in prep mode.
We have
foot of water in our streets like that.
It wasn't long ago when these streets looked like this. Streets and basements flooded. Connie Mora, who lives on Courier in Dearborn Heights, says she's bracing again for more rain.
I have already moved my vehicle. As you can see, I've taken a shower because when it comes in the basement, we lose our hot water heaters and we have to take cold showers. I did laundry because I lose my washer and dryer. We've lost our AC units.
Flooding nightmares are becoming all too common for thousands of people in Metro Detroit. Many say they're simply over it.
We don't know what's going on with the city. We've complained. I've been to council meetings.
The same people say they are tired of always preparing for flooding.
Completely on edge. We're not even recovered from last week. We flooded last week, and now we have to worry about the same exact issue all over again.
Insurance and FEMA assistance has been a problem for some people after the floods. It's a constant battle to keep the water out, a battle that seems like it will never end.
It could be just a little bit of rain and it always floods out in the street like a lake. It's a shame that we've become used to moving our vehicles, getting anything of value out of your basement. And we basically people are so stressed out. You can't sleep because you're on flood patrol.
People we spoke with say this is a serious problem that needs to be taken care of and someone needs to take responsibility. For 7 Action News, I'm Alan Campbell. It was just 1 week ago.
That sucks. But yeah, a lot of flooding the past couple of weeks. You know, I had rained and it was extremely hot. So the next couple of days, we're going to actually have some nice weather. It's supposed to be summer weather, you know, in the 60s, cool, not too hot. Germany had rain everywhere around the world, basically. China had it the worst. So, you know, there's a lot of food being done meaning is drowned, is wasted. They can't recoup that. And there's like years of crops just underwater. I think this is the one from Germany. Then we're going to get to the droughts.
They watch as if in fear things could get worse in Germany. And the rising waters where the Rhine and Mosel rivers meet in Koblenz offer no reassurance. Dozens have lost their lives to flooding in this region, and there's little confidence the struggle for residents is over yet. In Erfstadt, west of Cologne, several houses collapsed, others are in jeopardy, but work to protect them was impossible with roads washed away. And this is a scene repeated over and over across this nation. The village of Orloff has literally been ripped apart by the floodwaters. Roads, homes and properties destroyed.
There's so many people dead.
But it's the loss of life here which has broken many.
You don't expect people to die in a flood in Germany.
This here was flat.
Inside the home that has belonged to his family for 5 generations, Bert Nettersheim cannot control his emotions when he thinks of what has happened and how he will ever rebuild. He and his son were in the property when the floods hit and say it was terrifying.
We tried to seal doors and then it rises more and more. And then the doors were breaking, you hear crashes outside, this whole gate was breaking. It was a shock, definitely.
He blames climate change, saying the weather and the world is changing, and worries that families like his will go through more pain in the future.
Rivers are still running fast and high, and there are now real concerns for a nearby reservoir. If there's more heavy rain and the structure fails, the water could consume 3 villages.
The reservoir and its dam are being monitored carefully. Fire crews told us it's a critical situation. And as a result, residents have been ordered out of homes closest to the danger. But this is a disaster which spans nations. In neighbouring Belgium, some towns were near deserted, residents forced out of properties underwater, and rescue services struggling to prevent further deaths. In the Netherlands, the military worked to control the flow of the Maas River, while police helped evacuate some low-lying neighbourhoods in the southern Dutch province of Limburg as floods encroached on the area. And with more rain predicted, the work of the emergency services won't be over anytime soon. Michelle Clifford, Sky News, Germany.
So that's just Germany. As you heard, the other countries that's dealing with it. Russia too. It's floods all over the place. So my thing is, the world's been crazy. So you gotta be prepared. You gotta get a fire blanket in case there's an electrical fire, any fire, because when your house floods, sometimes it short circuits and things catch on fire, even though there's a flood. You gotta make sure you get bins, put some food in the bins, tape it so if there's a flood, that's floating and that's your rations. And say help don't come to you for a couple of days. And you could also have a big empty bin in case you have to use that as a boat. As the case in Detroit, how all they have to do is have drainage systems. There's not a lot of drainage system in that city, so that's why things flood. That's why there's nowhere for the water to go. So it stays there. And they have to come and suck it out and throw it somewhere else. So it could be, when they made these systems, they didn't make drainage systems with it. And a lot of streets, they build over other things, so there's no real ways. When you walk on a sidewalk, you should see at least 2-3 drainage systems. So if it does rain, the water go down there and go wherever water goes, reservoirs, dams, But China have like the most dams in the world. So, with the Arctic having a whole bunch of glaciers just, breaking on down. And there's a war for the Arctic anyways. They over there. So things they're doing over there, drilling, it affects everyone. And the effects is showing now. So like I said, a lot of people is being drowned with rain. And a lot of people is in the drought. A lot of crops that we get, food that we get from other countries is either underwater or it's so hot, there's no water and the crops is dying. So what's going to happen? We're going to be in a famine also. We're going to be needing for food because guess what? They can import the food that's been underwater or food that never grew because there's no rain to grow the crops. So of course food's gonna go higher and higher. Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a year. And like I said, the year just started. September's about to be here real soon. But yeah, so you gotta be prepared for all kinds of stuff, Because look at it, sometimes we in places where we never thought. Look at Houston, it's snowed. It was a snowstorm this winter? It never had snow before. Some people down south had a little dust. Some people had actual snow. So this is in Madagascar. They're having a drought there. Colombia is having one. There's a lot of people having droughts on those side of the world. But I'm gonna finish up with the vax. So let's watch a little drought that's happening, and there's no way to help that. It's crazy.
A deadly famine has been devastating for the south of Madagascar, the first country in the world to experience such conditions due to climate change. It has been brought on by years of persistent drought, and the current situation is so bad that they have to beg and eat food scraps from the market, sometimes even leather offcuts given to them by sandal makers. Take a look at our next report.
It hasn't rained for 3 years in this remote part of southern Madagascar. Villagers have no crops. Humanitarian workers have little access. Bandits plunder what's left. When the first load of food aid finally got through in March last year, it was too late. 150 people had already died of hunger. Sinazi was almost one of them. Local officials scraped together some help for her and her 8 children.
We were really helpless, like skeletons. We couldn't even walk anymore.
We could have collapsed just by tripping on a twig. My children cry. They cry so much, with all their hearts, with all their strength. This one has already fainted from crying so much.
Then there are the rural gangs. Sinazi's family lost nearly everything in repeated raids. Her daughter dresses in an old rice sack. They also use it as a bed.
At night, I sleep here. I crawl inside here. I do it like this, and I sleep here. I'm cold, and I curl up. The bag takes away the pain. If I slept directly on the floor, without this bag, it would hurt.
Basic rights are a distant dream here. A safe home, clean clothes, a meal. The family scavenges in the forest to supplement the food handouts.
We eat wild roots, but we are not able to cook them. We put them in the pot. We cover them with water, but it stays raw. The roots are always hard. We eat them, but it doesn't fill us up. My stomach hurts. I have diarrhea. When I go to the toilet, my stools are yellow, and sometimes there is blood. I would like a blanket, clothes, and sandals, but most of all, I would like to eat.
Madagascar is the first country to experience famine caused by climate change, according to the UN. Hundreds of environmental migrants take shelter here in the regional capital, Abomvombe.
5 children and 3 women died. That's what I saw with my own eyes. They died of hunger.
Some are now resorting to drastic measures. They eat scraps of boiled leather picked up from the local shoemaker.
This is how we do it. Like this. Look, we scrape it like this. Then we do this. But my knife is not that sharp. Move so you don't get hurt. Move out of the way. We cut it like this. But this is impossible to cut because it's hard as wood. You think we throw this away? Once it's boiled, we'll eat it straight away because we're so hungry.
But the shoemakers face the same grim reality.
We eat it as well. We cook it if we don't make any money, if no one is buying.
The government will build roads and a pipeline and bring in clean water, part of 140 projects to help the region get back on its feet.
Monsieur le Président Radziwiłł a donné au ministre 3, 6.
President Radziwiłł has given the ministers 3, 6, 12 and 18-month targets to get results. He absolutely wants these projects to have a real impact on people within 18 months.
Soit un réel impact pour cette population. Donc, bien évidemment,
of course, we're talking about roads. We must consider the delays in road construction. We're talking about a pipeline. So that obviously is a big project that will start in January.
Effectivement, c'est un gros projet donc, qui démarrera en janvier.
Meanwhile, the World Food Programme is running out of money to help. It still needs $78 million to get through the next lean season, which starts in October.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now. And
yeah, go check them out. I love the news. But with Madagascar, 3 years now. 3 years, you hear the pipeline, right? What is in Madagascar they need a pipeline for? But starving the people out first for all this develops. And it's sad. That's why I said all these millionaires, billionaires, no, it's not their problem, their issues, but say you have a lot of money and you sit here and you're watching it and you see these people eating leather, boiling it, eating it. He makes shoes. They make shoes to sell, to make money, and they eating leather too. And you can't give it to the World Organization or these places that say, hey, we're feeding these people. We need your help. Give us some money, you know? Because it's a scam. Because you watch these news outlet and it's like how you can't feed these people. Well, how their country is not able to feed them, but they getting all this money for these new plans. And you hear what she said, we got to consider the roads. So you don't have roads to get to them. The news could get to them. Like, you know, excuses all the time why children, women, men is dying from hunger. Hunger. So there's a lot going on in this world, you know. That's why we have to be grateful and thankful. And pray for those who don't have as much as we do. But probably later on, I wanted to talk about the vax. I don't know if some of you went and got your shot. And if you did, let me know how you're doing, which one you got. But it's a lot of questions I have. That's why I said I'm gonna wait till they do some more research and FDA approve all of these places that's actually telling you, you know, that vax is okay. And I don't even know why when you say vax, they scrap your video or don't put it up and saying you're giving misinformation, which is not. No misinformation here is given. Check with your doctor. I am not one. And I am not soliciting and being biased towards anything. I'm just giving my own opinion. I guess I made my own disclaimer right there. But yeah, it's a lot of questions. So I'm gonna end it with this video, and I'll probably see you tonight. And we'll have a little more conversations about that. The CDC. I'll probably have some links for you guys. How to you know, prep. It's not being paranoid. It's like things is happening. You know, any minute now it could be, you know, the end of August and we have a snowstorm or a tornado and like, well, we never had a hurricane here before. You don't know. You just gotta always be prepared. Make sure you always have your stuff out here. But I'm gonna do this one. Let me see. Oh yeah, and also the Hiltons is over here in China. There's a lot of stuff going on, guys. You're missing. But hopefully we could talk about that. Hey, Willie Will. Hey, boo. How you doing? How's your guys' day going? Who's working and who's chilling? And who's off today? I'm going to go live and drop the link and chill out. But, yeah, let me put up this video here. But like I said, if you did get it, how long ago you got it, how you feel, and what would you tell other people who haven't got it, who feels like they need more research, like myself, you know? Like I said, I don't live in fear, so I don't have fear. You know, if I got it, regardless, I would be like, yeah, ain't nothing gonna happen. You know, you always gotta have that in your head. I'm making my some chicken. All right, tell mom I said hi. Love you too, boo. Tell mom I said hello. I hope she gets a speedy recovery to her. Speedy recovery. But let me see. Let me put this one up first.
More than 7 decades ago, the world community made itself a promise. 2 simple yet powerful words. Never again. No more genocides, no more atrocities, no more ethnic cleansing. It's a promise that the world has spectacularly failed to keep. Look no further than Xinjiang in China. 1.5 million Uyghur Muslims are in chains. They're being indoctrinated, experimented on, beaten, raped, tortured. All this is well documented. There is no lack of proof. What is lacking is the intent to act. China may be running the camps, but the global community is equally complicit. Western countries want to trade with China. Western businesses want the Chinese market, so they make excuses for the genocide. They pretend not to see it. Tonight we'll expose some of these blind elements. You've all heard about Hilton Hotels. They are one of the largest hospitality chains in the world, an American flagship with 100 years of history. Their latest project is in Xinjiang in China, and their building site is an affront to the persecution faced by the Uyghurs. 3 years back, there was a mosque at the exact same spot. China demolished the mosque, like they demolished every visible symbol of Islam. Now they want to bury this history, build a hotel on the graveyard of Uyghur culture. And Hilton is happily playing along. What's their selling point here? An uninterrupted view of the labor camps? This goes beyond a tone-deaf business move. This is nothing short of encouraging genocide. The question is, who can make Hilton see sense? American lawmakers are trying hard. A bipartisan congressional commission wrote to the CEO of Hilton Holdings. The letter was signed by Democrats and Republicans alike. And here's an excerpt. The site is emblematic of the Chinese government's campaign of widespread destruction of Uyghur religious and cultural sites and official efforts to eradicate Uyghur religious and cultural practices. The problem is, Hilton already knows all of this. They know where the hotel is being built. They know the history of Xinjiang. They know what China is doing here. They're choosing to ignore it anyway. Hilton says the hotel is being developed by a Chinese franchise. That's hardly an excuse. Companies have a right to protect their brand. If tomorrow some franchise pitches a Nazi-themed hotel, will Hilton agree to that? They won't, or so we hope. Then why this free pass for China? These free passes have destroyed the landscape of Xinjiang. This province was once dotted by mosques. Today, most of them have either been demolished or turned into ghost buildings. Reports say 16,000 mosques have been razed or damaged by China. What about the ones that remain? They are surveillance and propaganda hubs. Communist graffiti welcomes you at the mosque. You have to register before praying. And whether God is watching you or not, the government certainly is. Because there are cameras all over the place. Every moment of yours is being tracked. They don't even look like traditional mosques because the minarets and domes have been destroyed. These are the mosques lucky enough to survive, but most of them end up in a pile of rubble. In 2018, China demolished a mosque in Xinjiang's Artush region. Last year, they built a public toilet on the same spot. In 2019, another mosque gave way to an alcohol and cigarette store. Do you see the pattern here? China does not just want to eliminate Uyghurs, it wants to humiliate them. Build toilets where places of worship once were. What can the global community do to end this? For starters, put the squeeze on, drain foreign money from Xinjiang and stop corporates from doing business there. I know it sounds impossible. Corporates are not suddenly going to grow a conscience, which is why we need laws. Reports say 83 major brands are linked to forced labor in Xinjiang. This includes the likes of Apple, Amazon, Samsung, Uniqlo, Nike. Some of the biggest brands in the world. Obviously, they like Xinjiang because forced labor is also cheap labor. But cost cutting is not an excuse for genocide. If corporates refuse to change, governments must step in. Earlier this month, the US Senate passed a law banning products of forced labor from Xinjiang. It's a great move, but it's 1 decade too late. In other places like Europe and Japan, they're still figuring out China. Is it an enemy or a competitor? Seems like jailing 1.5 million Muslims does not qualify as a crime. Corporates have always been tacit supporters in genocides. Dozens of companies benefited from the Holocaust. Today, they have rehabilitated themselves. They have been rebranded as politically correct. And I am talking about some big names here, like Hugo Boss, BMW, Barclays Bank, General Motors. 70 years ago, we baptized them and promised never again. Today, bigger companies have emerged. They're encouraging a different genocide. It makes you wonder, was it never again or time and again? WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get...
Yes, catch up on that news outlet right there. Why is this important? It's very important. because with everything going on, we get caught up in a lot of stuff. You see how they just took all the people back and said, look, we don't care. You can't pay your rent. You're out. There's so many people that's just been getting kicked out. Since it's like soon as they signed that law in, the ink wasn't even dry. It's like eviction time, guys. I mean, it's all over the news. Everybody's getting evicted, getting kicked out. A lady with 3 children. And that's why I was like, listen, you just gotta make sure you pay all your bills. Sometimes it's rough. Some people just didn't pay it because they was depending on that legislation that they had out there to protect the people because of this whole pandemic. Some of them just lived off of it freely. Like, I ain't paying nothing. Like, give something, If you gotta just pay $200, at least give $100. Like, I owe you one. But yeah. With the culture and everything and people's religion, that's why I said we are coming into a world where 1.5 million, they said. They jailed them just because they want to practice what they want to practice, So I speak about the universe and people's like, oh my God, she's evil. She's demonic. She don't believe what I believe in. Everyone, regardless if they don't believe in what you believe in, should be allowed to practice what they want. They ain't out here try to cause harm, So it's like, yeah, you're going to hear a lot about China in the years to come, probably in a couple months to come, because there's a lot of things going on. The China seas, they over there shooting off things. Gotta be vigilant. But yeah, I'm going to end it with this COVID news and I'll be out of here. So thanks you guys for stopping by. Adrian's wife, I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Mr. Triple L, Miss B. Just Be Real. Appreciate you. Willie Will, appreciate you. You already know. You guys, enjoy your day. Be well. And if I catch y'all later on, I'll see y'all then. And keep safe out there. And thank you for stopping by. Blessings to you and yours. And be well, everyone. And I'll see y'all later on tonight.
That's right. The data do show that the CDC's presentation was alarming in many ways, but it also reinforced that the vaccines are very protective against severe disease. Now, the agency estimates people who are fully vaccinated have a 25-fold reduction in the risk of hospitalization and death from COVID compared with people who are unvaccinated. For getting COVID at all, the risk is 8-fold lower if you're vaccinated. But cases in vaccinated people do happen. The CDC estimates about 35,000 per week among 162 million people in the U.S. who are vaccinated. Now, the agency released a case study today on the major outbreak we've been hearing about in Provincetown, Massachusetts, that began around July 4th, where among 469 cases in Massachusetts, 74% were fully vaccinated. We spoke with a young man who came down with COVID after visiting.
I work out 5 or 6 days a week, and I was truly off my feet for 6 out of the past 11 days, which was shocking to me and surprising.
Now, he said he was fully vaccinated and believes if he hadn't been, he'd have had to get medical care. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky saying the findings from Provincetown were a pivotal reason behind the updated mask guidance this week, that even fully vaccinated people, if infected, can carry high viral loads and potentially be contagious. But that report concluding perhaps the guidance didn't go far enough, suggesting that even areas without substantial or high transmission might consider expanding their prevention strategies, including masking in indoor settings regardless of vaccination status. And Shep, a lot of people are raising questions about whether we're going to start seeing stronger measures from the federal government. And in fact, Dr. Walensky was just asked about this on Fox News tonight, whether they're considering mandating the vaccine on a federal level. She said, quote, "That's something that I think the administration is looking into." Shep, that's a reversal from what we've been hearing from the administration. In fact, just from a White House spokesperson today who said that is not on the table. So we'll wait to see if that's really a change or maybe a misspeaking. Shep?
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.
Thanks for being here, guys, and we'll talk about that a little later on tonight. And if I don't come on tonight, I'll see you guys when I see ya. I appreciate you for being here. Love you guys. Later.